Well, we hope to escape the pain that will be coming on strong very soon. That's welcome to the channel. We need to inquire into unconditional love, and that is the way that we escape the pain that is to come. It's always been the way. It continues to be the way. So this channel is dedicated to spending our time inquiring into unconditional love. It's the best possible way to spend your time during these days. It's always been that way, never more so than now, because there are indeed troubles to come with this planet. There's a growing awareness of that right now. So we can either start to stick our head in the sand, panic, or inquire into unconditional love. And here we're choosing the right way, which is to inquire into unconditional love. To inquire means to focus intently with the purpose of, through that focus, to see what arises and continue to focus. And when something arises, we look at it. And I'm Clarity Ross, and I will be facilitating this process for us here. I will be benefiting from it as well as you. And I tell you, there's a lot of gold to mine here. As we go along, we will find out some amazing things. For instance, we will find out that unconditional love is data-free, something most of us have never considered a data-free experience, especially the young people here in this world. I was born in 1956, and so I have some legacy of not feeling like anyone was collecting any data on me. I feel it very, very odd that people are collecting data now on everyone. Very strange. So there is some remembrance of less data. Of course, you had your social security number, your driver's license, birth records, and bank records, etc. Driver's license, all that stuff. But now there's tremendous data being collected on us all. However, unconditional love collects no data at all, and we can inquire into that, and it's a fascinating inquiry. Tremendous realization there. We can also talk about that unconditional love has no conditions. It's 100% accessible for everyone, equally, all times, all places, all situations. We're all pre-qualified to respond to unconditional love. Unconditional love provides its own means to respond to it. It provides us like a pair of glasses where we can look at unconditional love, and flawlessly, the perception is a flawless, steady perception. We can look at the fact that nobody has to win unconditional love. You know, we're used to the world here for competing for love here. We're trying to win someone's affection, win someone's attention, win the love of someone, some group, something. Unconditional love, we don't have to do that. It's already present for us. So we can inquire into that. No one can copyright unconditional love. It continues to be perfectly accessible to everyone. Its still presence is here right now in the exact same state as it always is present. It's unchangeable, unmodifiable, uncorruptible, perfectly pure, unmoving. We can inquire into all of this. Nobody can copyright it. Nobody can hold it hostage and then say that you have to go through them to respond to unconditional love. Not true. There are no gatekeepers to unconditional love. No gates, no paperwork, no identity you have to supply. There are no questions that will be asked. There's no login data being retained by unconditional love. There are many, many facets to unconditional love that we can inquire into, and we will inquire into it. As we do, we begin to get epiphanies of, oh my gosh, it's available for me right now. And then we kind of step back and say, oh, wow, that's amazing. It really is there. My gosh, there's no barrier to it. I've just been holding myself back. And here's another inquiry. Unconditional love is flawless right now. We don't have to wait for it to clean up its mess, or to get its act together, or to evolve, to become more accessible, to become better, higher quality. No, It's been exactly the same way that's always been from the very beginning, from the very moment Spirit chose to try and be separate from reality and create its own reality and be prime creator of its own reality. From that very moment, unconditional love was provided. Our own Spirit chose this remedy immediately. The remedy of unconditional love comes from the Spirit choosing the idea of not trying to be prime creator, not trying to create a separate reality. It comes from that idea. In other words, the idea of not trying to change anything about reality. Therefore, the effects of this cause are unchanging, and they confirm the causation, don't they? It's very important to focus on the issue of causation, because that is what got us. That is why we're in trouble in the first place. That is why we're facing pain and sorrow and misery and suffering and all of that, and have been going through that over and over and over. It's the whole problem of causation. So unconditional love brings up an automatic focus on causation as our inquiry continues. Cause and effect cannot be separated, okay? Very important to hear that. We have tried to separate cause and effect, and we have tried to create a causeless reality. Essentially, that is the trouble that we are in. And of course, since we're dreaming it all, it's being caused. But the dreamer, the effects deny the dreamer, you see. So it seems as though these effects are simply arising on their own accord, and they are not. The dreamer is dreaming these effects, most definitely. So our inquiry into unconditional love is an inquiry into the actual remedy that is available to us, is always available to us. It's available to us right now and every moment in exactly perfect stillness, unchanging purity. And by responding, by allowing our responses to be towards this unconditional love, our responses become peaceful and calm and clear and pure and unwavering. And as they become that way, we remember our true identity. We remember reality. We remember the nature of reality, which is pure and unchangeable and unmodifiable, and is based on causation. The prime creator created spirit. Spirit's the effect of that causation. So spirit completes creation by validating the cause. Cause without effects is not a cause, right? We validate the causation, we complete the causation, but we are not creating the cause. Okay? Very important to hear that. We are not the creators of cause, the prime creator. And yet we have been trying to be prime creators. Not complicated, but essentially our inquiry into unconditional love is the inquiry into the remedy for all our troubles. And our troubles will become clear once we realize the remedy is there for us. We become very bold and we become very unafraid to completely vet existence. Most of us in the past have been terrified to vet existence. It's like electing someone to office without vetting them at all. Just being too afraid. Say, oh, okay, go ahead, have authority over me. We're not going to ask any questions. But now we're able to completely vet existence. And we're able to look at existence and say, okay, I see exactly what's going on. Why? Because I know what the remedy is. I know the remedy is available to me. I'm not afraid anymore. I don't have to go through the ego to get to the remedy. You see, I don't have to please the ego to get to the remedy, to respond to this unconditional love. There's nothing I need to do. I'm already pre-qualified. I don't have to meet any requirements to respond to unconditional love. I can do it right now. Unconditional love is simply there, already there for me. It's the perfect there-ness, the perfect isness, the seamless peace beyond understanding, the nirvana, the perfect emptiness, the great space, the pure awareness, pure consciousness, the vision of Christ, the vision of oneness. It is simply there right now for us. as it has always been there right now for us. We don't need an intermediary, okay, at all. It is the intermediate step. Unconditional love, responding to that, is the intermediate step, because that is the way that we remember what our true identity is. It's the only way, because only by responding to an effect that is unchanging do we come to the remembrance that we ourselves, our identity, is itself unchanging and unchangeable. And the laws of creation are unchanging and unchangeable. As long as we're responding through our senses to the vast external world of constant change, our inner thoughts and dreams and fantasies and hopes and pretenses of constant change and fluctuation and instability, we're in a state of deep forgetfulness of what we are. So the cure for this is to respond to unconditional love. And in order to do this, we need to inquire into unconditional love. And this inquiry, those fruits to blossom and set and grow and ripen right now, because the problems of the world are coming on strong, which is why I opened with that song by Brenda Lee, Coming On Strong, because it is really, really, really true right now in this world going forward. We will be facing tremendous heartaches in this world. And we don't have to experience those, because we can literally respond to unconditional love instead of responding to the world. And that is truly the will of God. It's the will of God that we function the way we were created to function. The Prime Creator did not create Spirit for Spirit to try and create a separate kingdom and be Prime Creator itself, replace God, and forget about reality. No, that is not what we were created for. We're trying to separate from reality. We were not created for that. It was a whim on our part. We were free to do it, but it was a whim on our part. So the Prime Creator, from the very beginning, wills that we function the way that we were created to function, which is to directly experience the rich tapestry of ideas in reality. Instead, we have been fixated on one idea, the idea of trying to become Prime Creator of our separate reality. And we have no choice but to eventually give up this futile effort. And the only way we'll give it up is if we remember what we are. Otherwise, we'll be too frightened to give it up. We have to first remember what we are, what our true identity is, and what the laws of creation and reality are, and realize that they're stable and unchangeable. The only way to do that, again, is to respond in an abiding response to unconditional love. Okay? It's the only way. So what we're talking about here is the way to salvation, the way to redemption. It's a satsang, it's an inquiry into unconditional love. And we're trying to use the visuals here. I'm trying to present a style of visuals that will enhance this inquiry, and hopefully it'll work out great. Let's take a quiet break right now. I'll see you next video, and we'll get going on the specific inquiry topics. All right, very great. That's it.
Come on.